Hi everyone, I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on contributing to ARM Learning Paths. So if you haven't seen the site, I would encourage you to go to learn.arm.com. There are learning paths and install guides covering a wide variety of ARM software development topics. So please take a look around and see what you can learn. The project is completely open source and open for contributions. So contributing to learning paths is a great way for you to share your knowledge and promote your skills, and it's pretty easy to do. So in order to get started, you're going to need a GitHub account. So if you don't have a GitHub account, please go to github.com and create one. In addition to that, you're going to need three other tools. One is going to be a text editor. So I use VS Code for that, but you can use any text editor. You'll also need Git to manage the source files, and Hugo, which is a fast static site generation tool that we use to render the website. So I already have all three of those tools on my machine, but I will show you along the way where you can get the instructions to download and install them. So to get started to contribute, what you want to do is click on the GitHub logo on the top right corner of learn.arm.com. That will take you to the ARM developer ecosystem GitHub page, and then scroll down, and ARM Learning Paths is the first project there. So this is the Learning Path project in GitHub, but to contribute, what you need to do is make a fork of the project into your own GitHub account. So the fork button is here on the top right, so you can click that. It will show you the owner, which will be your account name, and then the repository name as ARM Learning Paths, and then click the Create Fork button. Now I'm not going to click that button because I already have a fork in my account. So instead, what I'm going to do is go to the Your Repositories menu item and then click on ARM Learning Paths. And you'll see here that the repository is forked from the developer ecosystem, and it shows that fork has been done. Now from here, I want to take a copy of this repository onto my local machine. So you can click Code and then Local and then copy the path. And then I'm going to go into a terminal here, and I'm going to do a git clone with that path. Now your GitHub username will be different, but it will be very similar to this. I'll click return, and then it's going to bring a copy of the repository onto my local machine. So now I have the same ARM Learning Paths directory here. You can see the files will match exactly what you see in GitHub. Now here you can open a text editor. Normally I use VS Code. I'm going to put that in the background, but you can use any text editor to open up the directory tree for the learning paths. Now here you'll see in the content directory, the install guides and the learning paths with subdirectories that correlate to those top level categories on the homepage. So what we can do here is open up a terminal, and I'm going to run Hugo server. So Hugo is the rendering software that we use to make the website. When I run it, it's going to render a local copy of the site on my computer. So you see on the bottom, it says you have localhost 1313. And so I'm going to open up a new tab and go to localhost 1313. So this is a copy of the public site, but on my local machine. So I can make changes here, and I can see those changes immediately and get a good idea, well, an exact idea of how they look before contributing back to the project. Now from here, you want to push the Create button, where you'll get to a learning path, which shows you how to create learning paths. So all the instructions are here that will help you create content. So whether you want to do a small change to make existing content better, or you want to bring a new content like a new learning path or a new install guide, the process is the same. And all the instructions are listed here. So you can scroll through this information. What we just covered is the setup. So here it shows how to set up your machine, explains you're going to need the editor, you're going to need Hugo and Git, how to fork the repository, how to clone the repository onto your local machine and make changes. So by following these instructions, you'll learn everything you need to know about how to format the content, how to follow the recommended writing style. And when you get all done and you have changes that you want to share, then you can commit those to your fork of the project and then file a pull request back to the main project. And then what we will do is look at your pull requests and work with you to finalize any needed changes. And then we will merge that into the project, and then your content will show up on learn.arm.com. So it's a pretty easy process, just a few simple tools on any computer, and you'll be up and running. And if you like the project, please give it a star on GitHub. You can ask any questions or discuss anything on GitHub in the issues area, or use the discussion tab. and we'll help you with those questions. So thank you for watching and look forward to your contributions.